Welcome to our channel. Before we get started, please consider liking and subscribing so we can bring more stories like this to you.
Jason Statham stood at the edge of a dimly lit alley, his sharp gaze scanning the shadows for any hint of danger. Known for his unmatched resourcefulness and combat prowess, he had faced numerous adversaries, but none as ruthless as the cartel he was about to confront, with a past shrouded in mystery. He had forged a reputation as a man who fought for those who couldn't fight for themselves. His heart raced not just with adrenaline, but with a purpose that transcended mere physicality. He was determined to rescue the nurse who had become collateral in a deadly game. Each moment weighed heavily on him, and he knew the stakes were high. The clock was ticking, and the shadows of the cartel's empire loomed large, ready to swallow anyone who dared challenge their authority. In a small, cluttered clinic nestled in a rough neighborhood, the dedicated nurse, Mia, tirelessly cared for her patients, embodying compassion and selflessness. Despite the danger surrounding her, she chose to treat even the most feared cartel members, believing that everyone deserved a chance at healing. Her warm smile and gentle touch brought comfort amidst chaos, earning her respect. Even from those who usually shunned kindness, however, her unwavering commitment to her work became a double-edged sword when a gang leader, impressed by her skills but seeing her as a liability, took her hostage as collateral in his ruthless dealings. As Mia faced the grim reality of her situation, she remained hopeful that someone would come to rescue her, unaware that the man determined to save her was already preparing for an audacious confrontation against the cartel. The cartel ruled the streets with an iron fist, their power cemented through fear and brutality. At the helm was Jorge El Jaguar, a brutal leader known for his merciless tactics and swift punishments for any perceived betrayal. His reputation for violence sent a chill down the spine of even the most hardened criminals, ensuring strict loyalty within his ranks. The environment around the cartel's stronghold was a chaotic battleground where rival gangs clashed, leaving no room for compromise or compassion. In this lawless world, Mia's kindness was a dangerous liability, making her an easy target for exploitation as collateral. As Jason prepared to stride into this den of terror, he understood that not only was Mia's life at stake, but his own would hang in the balance as well, should he fail to navigate the treacherous web spun by the cartel. One fateful evening, the clinic buzzed with the usual tension as gunshots echoed in the distance. Mia was tending to a critically injured cartel member when a group of armed thugs stormed in, their faces contorted with menace. They were there to collect on a debt owed by the cartel, and in their eyes, Mia's kindness had rendered her a liability rather than an asset. Viewing her as collateral against any fallout from their dealings, they seized her without hesitation, despite her desperate pleas for compassion. The leader's cold gaze bore into her as he warned that anyone who crossed El Jaguar would pay dearly, with Mia's abduction cementing her fate as a pawn in a deadly game of power. A sense of foreboding hung over the clinic, leaving Jason with little time to act before the stakes spiraled out of control. As Jason crouched in the shadows, memories of Mia flashed through his mind. Her unwavering smile, the warmth of her gentle voice, and the countless times she had shown compassion to those in need. They had met under dire circumstances, with Mia nursing his wounds after a brutal encounter that had nearly cost him his life. From that moment, an unspoken bond formed between them, built on trust and respect. For Jason, rescuing Mia was not just about duty. It was deeply personal. Her selfless nature reminded him of the goodness he fought to protect against the darkness of the world. With urgency clawing at his insides, he realized that her life depended on him, compelling him to charge into the depths of danger, not only to save her but to honor the spirit of hope she represented. With the stakes higher than ever, Jason meticulously mapped out his plan to infiltrate the cartel's stronghold. He gathered intel from former associates and monitored cartel movements, noting guard shifts and weak points in their defenses. Armed with this knowledge, he selected a small team of trusted allies, each skilled in combat and stealth, to assist him. Jason stocked up on essential gear, silenced weapons, tactical vests, and night vision goggles, ensuring they would be prepared for any scenario. He also devised a distraction strategy to draw attention away from their entry point, allowing them to slip past the perimeter undetected. Every detail mattered, and as he reviewed the plan late into the night, determination coursed through him. Rescuing Mia had become not just a mission, but a commitment to reclaim the light amidst the overwhelming darkness of the cartel's reign. Under the cover of darkness, Jason and his team slipped silently into the cartel's territory, adrenaline coursing through their veins. The air was thick with tension as they crept through the maze of dilapidated buildings and graffiti-covered walls. Every creak and rustle echoing in the stillness, Jason's training kicked in. He instinctively moved from shadow to shadow, keeping a keen eye on the patrols that roamed the area as they approached the stronghold's perimeter. He signaled for silence, relying on his team's discipline to navigate past vigilant guards. The threat of discovery loomed, and each heartbeat felt amplified. They worked as a cohesive unit, using hand gestures to communicate as they maneuvered through alleyways lined with dangers. Both seen and unseen, with every step closer to Mia, Jason's resolve hardened. There was no turning back now as they advanced deeper into the cartel's stronghold. Jason and his team faced a series of unexpected challenges. The guard patrolling their path suddenly appeared, forcing Jason to react swiftly. He subdued the man in a silent struggle, adrenaline spiking as he dragged the body into the shadows. Just when they thought they had found a safe route, they stumbled upon an intricate security system, laser beams crisscrossing a narrow hallway. Using his agility and training, Jason led the team through a precarious dance, narrowly avoiding detection. The tension escalated when they encountered a group of cartel members gathered around a fire, their laughter echoing ominously in the dark. With quick thinking, Jason devised a diversion, throwing a rock to create noise on the opposite side. Each obstacle tested their resolve further, but fueled Jason's determination to reach Mia before time ran out. After navigating through the labyrinthine corridors of the cartel's stronghold, Jason stumbled upon a security room illuminated by flickering screens. As he crept closer, his heart raced. The images revealed various locations within the compound, and one in particular caught his eye. A dimly lit cell marked with a red circle that it was there, amidst a backdrop of terror, that Mia was being held. The realization struck him like a thunderclap. Her life hung in the balance with every passing minute. The urgency of the mission surged within him, fueling his adrenaline as he committed her location to memory. With newfound determination, Jason relayed the information to his team, knowing they had little time to spare as they prepared for the final push. The stakes soared higher. Failure was not an option in this desperate race against time. The moment Jason burst into the dimly lit cell, he was met by Jorge, El Jaguar, who stood confidently with a sadistic grin, exuding an air of menace. The air crackled with tension as Jason's fists tightened. Ready for the showdown that would determine Mia's fate, El Jaguar lunged at him, and they exchanged blows, the fight erupting into a chaotic dance of strength and skill. Jason relied on his agile reflexes, countering strikes while deftly avoiding Jorge's brutal attacks. With every punch thrown and every kick dodged, the stakes escalated. It was clear that only one could emerge victorious as they grappled dangerously close to the door. Jason felt the weight of his mission drive him forward with a powerful roundhouse kick. He sent Jorge crashing against the wall, ending the cartel leader's reign and paving the way to Mia's freedom as Jason burst into the adjacent room. He found Mia bound and frightened, her eyes wide with disbelief. The moment their gazes locked, time seemed to freeze. Relief washed over him, igniting a spark of hope amidst the chaos that he rushed to her side, quickly untying the ropes that bound her wrists, his hands trembling with urgency. "You're safe now," he whispered, brushing a strand of hair from her face as he searched for any sign of harm. Tears glistened in her eyes, a mixture of fear and gratitude, and for a fleeting moment, the horrors surrounding them faded away. Just then, gunshots rang out from the hallway, shattering their brief respite. With adrenaline surging, Jason took her hand, urging her to follow him. Together, they raced toward freedom, bonded by a shared ordeal that had transformed their lives forever. Bursting from the room, Jason and Mia navigated the dimly lit corridors, the echoes of pursuing cartel members rapidly closing in behind them. Jason's instincts kicked in as he led Mia through winding passages, using his knowledge of the stronghold to find the quickest escape route. The tension was palpable. Every footstep could lead to discovery. As they turned a corner, a group of armed guards appeared, forcing Jason to think on his feet. He quickly pulled Mia into a storage room, his heart pounding as they hid behind crates. Peering through a crack in the door, He watched as the guards passed, their voices menacingly discussing their failed attempts to catch them. Once clear, Jason signaled Mia to follow closely, and together they sprinted through side doors, relying on their teamwork and quick thinking to outmaneuver the chaos that surrounded them. Once they reached safety, the weight of their ordeal settled heavily on both Jason and Mia in the quiet aftermath. They found themselves in a secluded cabin, the distant sounds of sirens fading into the night. Jason sat across from Mia, his expression a mix of relief and concern as he took in her fragile state. "I thought I lost you," he admitted, his voice thick with emotion. Mia, still shaken but visibly grateful, responded with a soft smile that barely masked her trauma. They reflected on the harrowing experience, sharing stories of fear and resilience that had woven an unbreakable bond between them as dawn broke, illuminating the cabin in warm light. They understood that while they had escaped physical danger, the emotional scars would take time to heal. Together, they resolved to embrace the new beginning ahead, one built on hope and healing. As the sun rose over the horizon, casting a warm glow through the cabin windows, Jason and Mia sat together, reflecting on their shared journey. The silence between them was filled with understanding. They had faced unimaginable darkness and emerged stronger. Jason reached for Mia's hand, squeezing it gently as he spoke about a future beyond fear and turmoil. A life where she could continue her healing work without the shadow of danger looming over her. Mia, her eyes shining with gratitude, voiced her desire to help others in need, inspired by the very bravery that had saved her. In that moment, they made a silent promise to each other to reclaim their lives and foster hope in a world that had tried to extinguish it as they embraced. The bond forged in adversity became a beacon of light, guiding them toward a brighter tomorrow.